From Viking Stadium in Princeton, your Lakota West Firebirds getting set to take on the number 7 team in Ohio, the Princeton Vikings. And we got quite the matchup here at Viking Field. Your Lakota West Firebirds, they've been hot all year, and so has Princeton. Two of the best teams, not just in the state, but in the country. And you can make the argument that this is one of the better games tonight in the country. And Grant, what a contest we've got going on. You take a look at this Princeton team, the biggest challenge Lakota West is going to be facing all year, and a lot of that has to do with the man under center, RJ West.
Yeah, RJ West, he's very electric. He has around about 900 yards on the year already. To put that in perspective, our quarterback, QB1, great player Mitch Bolton, only has about 600. RJ West, this is his first year starting a quarterback for the Princeton Vikings, and he's already came out and he's looked electric, and he's really powered them to 4-0 and to challenge Lakota West for this Ohio title.
And as far as a bounce-back game, you want to take a look at the game Mitch Bolton had last week. Obviously, I mean, they blow out Oak Hills 31-0, but Mitch Bolton did have an interception to begin that game. How do you think he's going to bounce back in this one of the bigger games all season for our Firebirds?
I think tonight we'll come out in a run-first scheme. We'll use those options and we'll get our balls to our star players. You know, as Coach Bolton said best in that interview we had with him after postgame. You should check those out on our Twitter if you haven't already. Bolton, he said, we just got to get the players. Like, we don't want to waste our D1 recruits. We have all these D1 athletes, and we have these super athletes such as Malik Hartford, Josh Fussell, and so many more. We don't want to waste any of them, and so that's why he's got those guys playing on offense this year. So yeah, I see us trying to get those balls into star players, and so how Bolton fits into that, I see they'll use him more in a power run scheme, and then he'll have a lot easier time passing this week because Princeton's going to be locked in on that run and all those star players. That Bolton's going to find himself in a bit more open of a space than I think he would have anticipated. And I think Bolton's going to get that ball loose tonight, and we'll see some sparks flying.
Yeah, you mentioned all those playmakers and those stars on the offensive side of the ball. So taking a look at that offensive lineup for our Lakota West Firebirds, what do you expect to see from them in a big night like tonight, Grant?
Tonight, I'm expecting to see something just like always. Brendan Remy, expect a touchdown or two. He's become a consistent superstar. He just explodes in every part of the game. And so now you've also got multiple other players who've been racking up touchdowns too. Trent Lloyd coming back finally fully off injury, and he's been looking incredible. Expect just our wide receiver core to make a lot of use of screens and all of this and that to really get the ball out and get it out quickly. And also, I would like to note Udez Gonzalez Jr. has been getting more and more use over the past week, especially in the run game. He leads our halfbacks in rushes, and he leads our halfbacks in receptions. So really, expect Lakota to be looking at all their weapons.
Now taking a look at that Lakota West starting defense, where most of that D1 talent is. You look at that secondary, pretty much all of those guys with D1 offers, they're looking very special this year on defense, and I think that's really going to shine in a night like tonight. What do you expect to see from this unit?
As always, the defense run through is Malik Hartford. He's our #1 player on defense, arguably the #1 player on this team. He's been incredible all year, and I expect him to be credible tonight. You saw in St. X, he stepped up, he fought the pressure. Tonight's probably the most pressure-filled game of the year so far. I expect Malik Hartford to step up, but of course, you've got Jacob Asbeck, sack leader. You've got Michael Brandkamp, smartest guy on that defense. Always just, if anyone knows anything about the defense, it's Michael Brandkamp. And then, of course, you've got breakout tackle Elijah Davis, just absolutely being a disruptive problem every single play. And there's two more players you cannot forget, Josh Fussell, Northwestern commit, D1 commit, and Ben Minnick, that Purdue commit. Oh, I'm sorry. Notre Dame. Got my little black and gold mixed up there, just slipped me, but excuse me there. But as you guys know, this defense is special and expected to continue to being special tonight.
It is a special defense with a lot of firepower, but they're also going up against an offensive unit with a lot of firepower. We already touched on RJ West, but that Princeton offense as a unit, very dominant, a team that put up 71 points against Lakota East just a few weeks ago. What do you think we're going to see out of the Vikings offensive team tonight?
The Vikings have really specialized in attacking fast and making big plays. Expect them to come out attacking like viciously on this West defense. So for West, what I think we need for us to win this game is I expect us to have a physical game where we want to force them into the run game. But for Princeton, what they want and what they need to do is they need to force West into a shootout. If it gets into a shootout, I hate to say it, but Princeton has the weapons. Princeton's got the better offense, even maybe if it's just marginally. And so when I say West defense has to come out big tonight, that's what I think needs to happen.
Yeah, and you mentioned potential shootout possibilities down here at Viking Field. Taking a look back at our offense compared to that Princeton defense, who do you think the problem child is going to be on that Princeton defense?
Princeton defense, they're just a really solid unit. They've held opponents to an average of 9 points a game. I mean, there's not really a problem child on that Princeton defense. With both Lakota West and Princeton, they're all around teams who are here to fight every single second of this game. And so really, I think the problem could be for which team plays less clean play. It's all going to come down to fouls and penalties right there. And we all know Princeton, they struggle with the offensive holding. And Lakota West, they struggle with pre-snap penalties. All these delays of games and illegal movement and offsides, they really struggle with those. And so it's going to be which team figures out that penalty game first. And I think that'll be the problem child for which team wins.
So taking a look at the coaching side of things, obviously our Lakota West Firebirds, led by head coach Tom Bolden, father of our starting quarterback Mitch Bolden. He is a very passionate man on those sidelines and in that locker room. We saw in that St. X game at halftime, so we've heard that chairs were broken. So you got to imagine he's got a lot of energy, maybe even nervous energy heading into this Princeton game. What do you think the overall message is going to be to his team on that sideline tonight?
Princeton, Coach Tom Bolden. I think what he wants to tell his team is come out tonight and play like it's the last game you're going to play. Bolden, he's always loud. He's always energetic. Expect him to go up in there and tell these guys, this is the game that'll win the GMC. Whoever wins this game will go home with the title this year. And as you know, Lakota West are back-to-back GMC champions. They don't want to give that up. Make it 3 years in a row. Why not? Make it four next year. Just keep going. But that's what they're looking for. They want to get this GMC title, and tonight is the game that will decide who gets the GMC title. So expect Bolden to be, he's going to be loud. He's going to tell them this is the game. Most of our team, a lot of our team is seniors, so he's looking at him, he's saying, state title, it's a huge thing. We want that. You know what else we want? We want that 3-time GMC champion title, and tonight, treat it as if it's the Super Bowl for the GMC. Tonight is that game.
Yeah, well, one of the premier games on the Lakota West Firebird schedule set to get underway in just a few minutes. We just hit 6 minutes on the scoreboard. We got a lot of action on the way. Should be a great one down here at Viking Field in Princeton. Stay tuned and stay with us for all the action. Nick Johnson and Grant Hageman in the booth. We'll see you at kickoff. And welcome back to Viking Stadium out here in Princeton, one of the better stadiums in the GMC conference, and it is one of the noisier ones here tonight as our Firebirds making their way out on the field to take this kickoff from the Princeton Vikings. They will start on offense here down I-75 at Princeton. And we do want to mention that tonight's game is brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings. Our $15 gift card giveaway will be in the third quarter. So head on over to Buffalo Wings and Rings after tonight's ball game to get a nice post-game meal and hopefully enjoy a Firebirds victory.
So here we come tonight, coming out set. We're ready for a great game. Looks like Lakota West is going to receive the ball first to start the first half, which means Princeton will get a second half. Personally, I always have loved getting ball start second half because then you can get a 2-for-1. But I don't know who won that coin toss. If West won it, they might be thinking, let's come out. Let's shock this Princeton defense. Let's set the record of the game straight. But, you know, we'll see what's happening. Here it comes. Princeton breaks their huddle, and we're ready to start now.
Special teams unit getting set, one of the premier games in the country about to get underway as Princeton prepares to kick this one off. Both student sections on their feet. They are loud and rowdy down here tonight, and we are off. Kick is away, low line drive, and we'll let it bounce. That's going to go out of bounds. The flags come out, and so Lakota West off the penalty. Amazing field position here to start on drive number 1.
So here comes out Lakota, led by Mitch Bolden. Always an exciting play. And if you want to ever direct your attention, down at the bottom here, you get a reminder of who is our stars here on offense. And here we come out for our first drive against these Princeton Vikings.
Yeah, we do want to bring up those stars. One in particular that stood out over the past few weeks is Trent Lloyd. He is originally a receiver, but it seems like Coach Bolden in that offense using a bit more in that running game. You think we'll see him taking that rock a few more times here tonight?
Oh, yeah, of course. He's doing extremely well, and it's looking pretty good. And so expect him to get the ball running more times after, especially last week where he was explosive.
So we'll see Mitch Bolden come out in shotgun. Junior Gonzalez, the back, out to his left as this ball game is about to get underway. See Mitch Bolden taking calls back there. We see a motion to the left side. That's the tight end, Luca Gilbert, moving over. We see another motion. That's Tabron Benny Powell. Bolden's going to go back to throw, instantly under pressure, evades, works back to the line of scrimmage, takes it up 4 yards on the scramble.
Yeah, right there, once again, going back to that good old trusty read option. When you have so many stars, we say this every week, use them all. So every play, when they threaten to use every single one of their athletes, you don't know who to protect. And so right there, they showed 3 or 4, and they pick up 4 yards with a solid gain to start for the first play of the game.
Keeping it on schedule is what they're calling that. Lakota West, 4 yards on first down. They'll start 2nd and 6. Almost cutting the chains in half on that play as we get some confusion maybe on the ball spotting from the Zebras.
Mitch Bolden comes out in the shotgun again.
Once again, going to be Gonzalez, the man to his right. A little motion from Tabron, and they are going to throw the flags. That'll be a false start. Lakota West going to be backed up 2nd and 11 after the 4 yards Mitch Bolden keeper.
That's what I was talking about before game. West has a big problem with being able to avoid these small fouls before the play starts. And once again, there you see it. They shoot themselves in the foot by making just a small mistake. And I think really who's going to win tonight is who is able to make the least amount of mistakes like that.
So we'll see 3 receivers out to the right. That'll be Brennan Remy on the left, Mitch Bolden in shotgun with Junior Gonzalez, the man in the backfield. It'll be Bolden looking to throw once again, under pressure, rolls out to his right. Looks deep downfield. That's Giovanni Wilson on the reception. Toe tapping it on the sideline. He's going to break into Princeton territory just up past the Princeton 40-yard line, and that'll be a big first down for the Firebirds.
Beautiful right there. I mean, 94 for Princeton broke through practically immediately. Alex Key just had a little bit of a fall there, and 94 broke through. But Lakota West right there, Mitch Bolden, he sees that, and he breaks out to his right, knows to run to his strong side, and he runs out, and he makes a ball, and he chucks it, and he finds his receiver downfield to make a great play in the big game.
So we'll see Mitch Bolden, the handoff. That's Tabron Benny Powell taking it. He's going to fight for quite a few. Looks like he got about half of the chains there. We'll call out about a 2nd and 5.
West here They're doing what they want to do. And they're powering, and they're trying to make something happen early. And there you see it. One of our hometown favorites here for the broadcast team, Davion McCoy, out on the field already this early in the game.
Yeah, we did talk with Coach Bolden after last game, and he said he does have big plans for Davion McCoy going forward. We will see quite a bit more of him throughout the season. Low snap taken by Bolden, handoff up the middle. Junior Gonzalez going to fight for a few, about 3 on the carry. Oh, and they're going to say there was a fumble on that play. Gonzalez lost the ball. Princeton says they haven't, and it's going to be going their way.
Yeah, we are not quite clear yet on what happened. It might have been a strip, but it seemed like our player was well on the ground at that point, and we just a little unclear there. But sadly, we don't have VAR here. We don't got a video system for the refs to review, and so whatever they call, it's going to stand. And so here comes Princeton now with a sad end to that West drive, which from up here in the booth didn't really seem like a fumble.
So we will see that Princeton offensive unit come out on the field. R.J. West leading the way. We'll see him out in shotgun to begin the drive for Princeton. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks to throw. Under pressure. That was Elijah Davis, unable to bring him down. Flag in the backfield. R.J. going to scramble for a few. Could be a hold on Princeton on the way.
And there it is. It's going to be a hold. That definitely seemed like a hold right there. Elijah Davis was coming on that left side of the line, and he broke through, but then all of a sudden there was an arm wrapped around him like a bear hug or an arm bar, and Elijah Davis could do nothing but throw his hands up, and the ref goes, oh yeah, that's a hold right there, throws the foul. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Princeton has a big problem with offensive holding. Do it all the time. Neither team really coming through right now with who can be more clean on this first drives.
And you look at that Lakota West defensive front, Elijah Davis, one of those big names. He was a key player on getting back there and pressuring R.J. West. We also have Jacob Asbeck, who is currently leading this team in tackles and sacks. So we'll see the Princeton offense a little bit backed up, but they will be back out once again on first down. See R.J. takes the snap, handoff, fakes the handoff. He'll scramble up to the 15 before being brought down by multiple Firebirds. So not much of a gain on that play for the Vikings. Brings up a 2nd and long.
2 Firebirds set him up, 1 coming on each side. And then you see Malik Hartford there. He realizes, hey, we just fumbled. Why don't they just fumble? And so he comes in for a hard hit right there. He lands it on RJ, but RJ holds on. And it's going to be a big 2nd down here.
So it'll be called 2nd down and 26. Princeton very backed up. See Elijah Davis jumping on that defense. There is a flag thrown. Might be an encroachment on number 90. And indeed it will be. So Elijah Davis on the encroachment penalty. Princeton going to march forward. Still a 2nd and long. 5 yards on the encroachment. Brings up a 2nd and 21. So a bit of a break for Princeton, but they're still very backed up.
Oh, they are buried, and they are buried deep. It's going to take some magic to get out of this 2nd and 21. Try converting before 4th.
Sweet Jacob Asbeck on that left side. Coming in on the blitz. Pressures RJ, instantly throws. Looking to make a one-handed catch over there is DeAndre Rutherford, unable to come down with it. We'll see a 3rd and 21 on the way for the Vikings.
The running back right there, he said, why can't it be my Odell moment? He went up for that ball, put his hand up there. Sadly, just not in reach. And it bounces off his fingertips, and it's going to come down for a 3rd and 21. And West looking to capitalize here and get the ball back after that hurting pain turnover early on in the first drive.
So RJ and the Princeton offense not really off to a very hot start. We'll see RJ take the snap back to throw once again. Still under pressure, flag in the backfield. Probably another holding as RJ carries it. Looks to get back to that original line of scrimmage before being out of bounds. Looked like a bit of a late hit from the West defense.
What I think we're going to see here is yeah, it was a holding. But what I was saying is I expect Tom Bolden to decline that penalty. Is he going to accept it? Because usually with that penalty, it's a restart of downs. And so I don't think Bolden would want them to be able to attempt 3rd down again and instead have it transfer over to 4th.
We'll see what the official call is. Still a flag down on the field. The holding call was confirmed. The spot of the ball, not so much, as we are still waiting on that one. We talk about our constant war with the referees from up here in the booth. seems like every week the refs just increase their lead on us.
But it appears they're going to accept that foul. Princeton's going to back up inside their own 10, and Coach Tom Bolden decides, I would rather them have a huge third down than get fourth down a little bit closer.
So it'll be third and very, very long, 34 yards to go to that first down marker according to the Princeton scoreboard. We'll see if West continues to bring that pressure. RJ has yet to go without pressure on a pass snap. So he's going to hit the play action there, rolls out left, and he's going to hit his man downfield, not very far, not even to the 20-yard line of Vikings territory. So we're going to see yet again a 4th and long out of this Princeton offense.
And right there, Coach Bolden makes the right choice as they make even a bigger 4th down. And right now, this game is going to Lakota West's plan. We're looking at maybe like a rough game, and that's what West wants. And right here, West is great at blocking punts. Expect them to try it.
I've seen a couple of block punts over the week from Lakota West.
Number 8, Charlie Houston, is punting for the Vikings.
So Princeton going to send out their punt team. We do get a whistle from the referees. So the punter's going to walk off the field. They're going to say he came on a little bit too late, so he will not be eligible on this play. So a little bit more confusion. Very big game. These refs want to make sure get these calls right. So it'll be number 34 now trotting on the field for the Princeton Vikings out to take the punt. It'll be Nate Reap, the man back now for Princeton. Brendan Remy, the return man, as he has been all season, sitting at the 50-yard line of Princeton Vikings territory. And we do get another whistle. And that's going to be an offside on Lakota West. That ball's going to move 5 yards in the wrong direction.
Seemed to be a bit of like, as I said there, offsides. You're going to see like 4 Firebirds really wanting to block that punt and getting just way too anxious. Multiple men on both sides of that line, just offsides there.
So we'll see the snap. Very high kick, lots of pressure from the Firebirds. Remy going to catch it. It'll be a fair catch at the Firebirds' 45-yard line, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back in a few minutes with some more action all when we come back. And we're back. The Firebirds taking another crack at offense. It'll be Junior Gonzalez with the handoff up the middle. Pushes for about 2, so it'll be a 2nd and 8. Run game not so great for Lakota West, but they look to keep continuing to push that rock up the middle.
West just coming out here looking for a solid drive. First drive out, they had a pretty good drive developing, but then that questionable fumble really broke them down. West right there, though, forces a very long, but definitely a 3 and out. There was quite a lot of plays due to fouls, but it was a 3 and out against Princeton. So here we go.
So we'll see Bolden back to pass. Davion McCoy dropped pass at about the 48, 49-yard line, slipped through the hands, and we'll see a 3rd and long on the way.
That's heartbreaking right there. Like I said, whichever team will win this game, it'll come down to which player makes the least amount of mistakes. And right there, that's a mistake by Lakota West.
So we do see Davion McCoy trotting off the field. In his place, number 26, Giovanni Wilson, the 2nd string running back for our Firebirds. 2 receivers out wide right for Lakota West, 2 on the left side. We continue to see Bolden come out in shotgun. Junior Gonzalez, that running back in the backfield. Bolden back to pass, under pressure. Ball is out. Recovered in the air by Princeton. There is a flag back in the secondary. They're going to take this one all the way for a touchdown. We will see what the call is on the penalty. It looks like it will be coming back, but Princeton seems to think that they have it.
Lakota West right now, they're all coming back to the line of scrimmage. They seem pretty confident about this. Yeah, and with the hold there, Mitch Bolden's still standing around the center of the field. He doesn't want to believe that West is coming off. We'll see what they call. These refs are coming together and discussing right now.
I do believe that is coming back almost instantaneously. It looks like West was riding off that play. Princeton taking it all the way. They want those points in a game this big. The referees are still having a bit of a conference around that Firebirds 20-yard line. So there is no official call. No points have been put up on that scoreboard. That West offense still on the field. Princeton defense on that sideline. I don't think they want to come back out. They want those 6.
Yeah, Princeton's in denial here. It's kind of what we're looking at for last time at halftime, where Oak Hills just trotted into the locker room. They said, hey, if we go in, maybe the refs won't change their minds. So here's Princeton refusing to come back out set. But now it looks like, yep, West is moving down the field.
Yeah, so we'll see them march right back to where that spot of the ball was, where that flag was thrown in the secondary. And here come the boos from the Princeton Viking bleachers. And indeed, it will be a penalty called on the Vikings, a holding call. So Lakota West going to take a trot on forward. It will be an automatic first down instead of a tipped ball interception for a pick 6. So a very unfortunate turn of events if you are a Princeton Vikings fan. If you are a Firebird fan, that is the break you needed.
Lakota West here, always wanting to, capitalize. And right there, very scary. And could have been pretty bad. And so here we go. West coming out set now with a second chance.
New set of downs, 1st and 10 on the way. Lakota West now on the Princeton side of the field at the 44-yard line. They've been working with efficiency other than the couple of mishaps in the fumble last drive. We see a handoff up the middle. Junior Gonzalez continuing to pound the rock down the middle of the field. He's going to get a couple on that carry. Looked like about 4.
It's a great game here so far. Couple of mistakes for both teams. No one really making a breakthrough yet, but so far it's been exciting, and we're glad everyone's here with us. We love that all of you guys tune in every week, and here we've got our best matchup of the year. And we have 180 people currently watching right now. This is our biggest crowd by far, and we love all of you for coming out. Now let's see a Lakota West win tonight.
So we see Bolden back to pass, instantly brought down by the Princeton defense. Absolutely nobody covering him. Breon Ishmael getting back there, taking down Bolden. Looked like he was unblocked on that play.
Yeah, miscommunication there. Just let a man straight through, and you're going to see a big problem here.
We'll absolutely love to see the 3rd and longs this week. 3rd and 20 now for the Firebirds after Princeton came off of a 3rd and 30. So we'll see Bolden and the offense line back up here. No doubt a pass play. We'll see who it goes to. We do have Brennan Remy and Trent Lloyd lined up on that right side of the field wide. Will be a Bolden pass. Looks deep. Brennan Remy across the middle of the field finds it. That's going to be a first down. Brennan Remy going to pick up that first, and the chains go moving. So a 3rd and 20. Big conversion from Mitch Bolden in this Lakota West offense.
West coming set now.
So we'll see Bolden and Gonzalez in the backfield once again. They are sticking with Remy and Lloyd on the right side. There's the jet sweep. We saw it quite a few times with Trent Lloyd moving to that left side. He's going to fight for about 1 or 2, but a pretty big hit going to stop him not much farther than the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, big hit there. Taking a second to get up, but he looks fine. Just going to shake it off. Expect that in this game. This is practically as big of a rivalry you'll see. It might not be that year-to-year rivalry, but this game's built up and this game's large. There's going to be emotions. And right there, they're trying to draw him out. They said, let's hit him hard. And so expect a lot of hard hits. And these players are going to need grit and a lot of just resolve to keep strong in this game.
Yeah, the energy very similar to that St. X Bombers game at Firebird Field as we see Giovanni Wilson taking that handoff. Gets a little bit tripped up. The knee came down. It looked like before that line of scrimmage. So we'll see yet another 3rd and long. Not quite as long as the 20 they had on the last set of downs.
Princeton right there. They stormed that line, that right side of the line. They read that it's going to be a sweep right there. But the running back, he reads it well and decides to cut back. And if he would have gotten that cut back against the grain right there, he would have got a huge gain. But all of a sudden, his feet slipped out in front of him, and his knee touches the ground, and he's going to actually go down for a tackle for loss.
So 3rd and 9, the official call, a loss of 1 on the handoff to Wilson. We'll see Mitch Bolden back in the gun once again, looking to throw. very pressured, able to dump it off to Junior Gonzalez. He's got room to run. He's got the first and more inside the Princeton 20. So the Firebirds pushing into the red zone. Bolden under pressure, able to hit Giovanni Wilson for an incredible play.
We're seeing there is Bolden's really made a journey. A lot of times this season, he's had some trouble with dealing with pressure, making some decisions on the fly that didn't work so well. But then for about 2/3 of the time, he's been excellent. And lately, the more games in, the better he gets. And you see it right there again. Pressure comes, Bolden's ready, and he deals with it just as any other quarterback would.
That West offensive line has allowed a bit more pressure than usual, and Bolden seems to be picking up on it better than ever in this ball game. We'll see Gonzalez and Davion McCoy, the backs, in the backfield. Bolden going to take that one. Keeper going to get 2 yards on that carry up the right middle of the field. Another 2nd and long on the way.
This ought to be a shock for Princeton right now. I mean, you know, they expected a hard game, but so far Princeton has been spoiled this year. They might have outscored West in like every category, but that's because they haven't had the strength of schedule. And so now, with the same strength of schedule, now finally facing an elite team, they're not scoring as much points as they are used to. It's shown.
So we'll see the handoff. That's Davion McCoy to the left side of the field. Finds his hole, working up down that 15-yard line for Princeton. There is a penalty flag down on the field. We'll see what the call is, and it looks like offensive holding. So these Firebirds going to back up even more. We'll see yet another 2nd and long after the accepted penalty.
Dumb foul. That's all I got to say about that. You've heard my speech enough times tonight already. They're messing up. They're killing their own game.
Yeah, and unfortunately that bringing back a Davion McCoy rush to the left side. If you've been sticking with us all season long, you know up in the booth we absolutely love us some Davion McCoy. A very talented kid, unfortunately not getting quite as many of the reps he's been showing he deserves. But Coach Bolden did assure us that he is a big part of the plan moving forward as West gets set for a 2nd and 18 on the way. The Princeton student section as loud as it has been here tonight at Viking Field. See Bolden in shotgun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, under pressure again. Rolls out to the left, scrambles up the middle. Makes a push all the way back down to the Vikings 20-yard line, nearly to the line of scrimmage originally on this play, as we'll see 3rd and about 10 or 11 on the way for Lakota West.
You know, I expect West to not do something crazy here. You've got a game so far where Princeton has not been able to do anything on offense. And so I expect West to play it safe, maybe do a bit of an option play here, and then I expect them to take this field goal and take an early lead.
So we'll see if they go aggressive or safe here. 3rd and 11. 4 wide for Lakota West. Bolden the pump fake to Junior Gonzalez. Pass is tipped, intended for Brennan Remy. We'll see a 4th and 11. And no doubt that kicking team is going to trot on the field, and indeed here it comes.
Yeah, West didn't go with the option, but they went with a couple underneath routes, just hoping to have a player make a play. You didn't want to force something down the field. You don't want to be moving the ball through the air, especially against an elite defense, that much right now. And so that's what you're seeing here. West taking the safe route and going to be pretty safe and pretty glad to go home with 3.
Tyler Bond, the man out the southpaw, ready to boot this one up. It is up, and it is good. Able to tuck it in the uprights, a little bit low and a little bit to the right, but that will be 3 points, the first 3 points up on the scoreboard here today. We're going to take a quick step aside, but we'll be right back. Your Firebirds lead 3-0. We got a lot more action on the way. Stick with us. And welcome back on into Princeton Vikings Field down here, just down I-75 from Lakota West. And we do want to thank our sponsor for today's stream, Buffalo Wings and Rings. They are sponsoring that $15 gift card giveaway in the third quarter, so head on over to Buffalo Wings and Rings for a post-game meal. Bond going to kick this one up and away. The band playing mid-play. They're going to run that down to the 30-yard line. The band is playing, and now a bunch of penalty flags thrown late on the play. Not quite sure what is going on down here. Lots of craziness.
What I saw there was Malik Hartford was shoved right in the back. A huge block in the back. That should not have happened at all. Malik had a good route on the runner, but then no flags were thrown. And so then all of a sudden it starts getting chippy. Players go, okay, this ref's not going to give it to us. We're taking this into our own hands. And all of a sudden it starts to become a battle between the players. And so they're going to call it on us because both teams went and got a little rough and rowdy. So they're going to call it on both teams actually.
And we do want to apologize very quickly. It looks like we have hit so many views on tonight's stream that YouTube is limiting our number of views because of our subscriber count. So we do apologize if you are experiencing issues with that tonight. But we do want to thank all of you for the support. As the handoff to the left side for Princeton, going to go for quite a bit. Able to work down to the first down marker. That'll be the sophomore Terry Antonio Brown Freeman. Able to move those chains on down number 1. So we are running out of time, and there's the whistle. So the first quarter now behind us. West going to head into the second quarter up 3-0 at Vikings Field. A lot more action on the way. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to stick with us. And we are back, the Princeton Vikings with the ball to start quarter number 2. Fresh 12 minutes on the clock. Your Lakota West Firebirds leading 3-0 over the Vikings. See the fake jet sweep handoff. RJ West going to keep this one up the middle. Able to work his way down the field for about 3 or 4 on the carry. We'll see another second and long for the Princeton Vikings coming up on the way.
Second down for the Vikings.
So it'll officially be 2nd and 7 after the short gain keeper from RJ West. The West defense pressuring him all night. I do not believe he's dropped back once without being pressured big time from this West defensive front. As we'll see the fake handoff, set up a little bit of a screen on the right side of the field. Hit by Tabron and Malik Hartford on the right side of the field. That was Riley Woods on that screen for Princeton.
Also looks like Drew Minnick got in on that tackle and got the final shove. But good group effort from all the Firebirds there. Once again, if you have anyone who's trying to get into the stream and can't, we are trying to come up with a solution right now. YouTube has a system where if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, they won't let you show the video to more than about 180 people. And so currently it is locking everybody out who wants to view this stream, and we apologize for that. We hope you guys are enjoying it, but after the game's up, we'll have the full game posted on our page, but we are sorry for anyone who cannot get in.
We'll see the fake handoff, jet sweep. It'll be RJ West on the keeper. Looked like he made a dive for that first down marker. Are they going to say he picked up that first down? The scoreboard showing 4th, and it looks like the ball will be spotted just shy. The chains showing 4th down as well. Princeton's offensive unit is staying out on the field for 4th.
They are switching personnel, though, a bit up now. We'll see what they decide to do. Ultimately, I think this is a spot where they should go for it. It's the second quarter. You're in a good spot that if you don't get it, they won't be across the 50-yard line, but you're just out of field goal range. So here we are.
So we'll see a bit of a wildcat formation, it looks like. Riley Woods, the man out, going to take the ball, instantly wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Big play, Jacob Asbeck getting back there, wreaking havoc on Woods. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Lakota West going to get it around midfield.
Big play, big play. Jacob Asbeck has been a leader all year, and he comes in and he leads again. He leads this team in sacks, and today he led this team on 4th down. He got in there, he blew up that wildcat formation before it could become anything big. Huge play there from Jacob Asbeck, and now West gets to come back out on offense. And here we are.
So another 1st and 10 for Lakota West as they look to continue to move this ball pretty well. As you have mentioned throughout the night, Grant, penalties do seem to be that issue for this offense. We'll see if they can minimize it heading forward on this drive. Bolden going to take the snap. He'll look to throw. Rolls out to his right on the scramble. Big hit. Takes about 3 Princeton Vikings to drag him down, but they finally managed to do it. No gain on the play.
Number 12, Travis Lawrence on the tackle.
We would like to thank everyone who is allowed to be on our stream tonight. We have our biggest crowd yet at 171, and we've gained about 50 subscribers in this short amount of time this game has been on. We love all of you who are subscribing, trying to help and tell YouTube, hey, let everyone in and watch this game, because we want to show this game to everyone, and this is a great game, but sadly, YouTube's just got a bit of an unfortunate setting that just won't let us show this game to everyone who wants to watch.
So we will see Mitch Bolden in shotgun. Junior Gonzalez out with him. Bolden going to roll out to his left under pressure, looks to throw, gets it away. That's Giovanni Wilson. Going to be a gain of about 6 on the throw across the middle of the field, bringing up a 3rd and about short for Lakota West.
To number 26, Wilson.
Lakota West has been surprisingly confident in their passing game, and it's worked for them. That confidence has led them to making gain after gain after gain. But I expect them here to roll it in and get into running formation and bring their heavy set out with multiple of their tight ends and big guys to really power this one through.
3rd and 1, officially one of the bigger downs of the game already. And we have 8:30 to go in the second quarter. We'll see the handoff. Davion McCoy to the right side. Big time pressure from the Princeton defense, and they will not let him get back to the line of scrimmage. This West offense does look like it's lingering around midfield, though. We'll see if they elect to go for it in Princeton territory. 8 minutes to play in the second quarter.
This is exactly where Princeton just went for it, on the other side of the field. I see West staying out here, and I see them giving it to Mitch Bolden. Big guy, always powerful. I see him running it right up the middle, putting his shoulder down, and just really trying to barrel through.
So we'll see the huddle at midfield finally breaks, and indeed Lakota West is going to go for it. They'll call it 4 down territory. We will see Bolden and Gonzalez in the backfield. He looks to throw. Keeper up the middle. He's going to push for it, and he got that 1st down pretty convincingly. So the chain's going to move for Lakota West. No penalty flags down on the field, and it'll be a 1st down across the 40-yard line of Vikings territory.
That right there was the biggest play of this half. That secured West with an even longer drive to chew more clock, and then it also gets that 1st down, obviously, to keep this game rolling.
So after the big 1st down for Lakota West, we'll see them line up. 2 men on each side out wide. Bolden takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff up the middle once again to Wilson. Or sorry, that was Gonzalez up the middle. He's not going to get anywhere. Right back to the line of scrimmage as we hit under 7 minutes to play in the second quarter.
No gain on that play.
So we'll see the 2nd and long on the way. Firebirds in the huddle getting set. Once again, another big set of downs. Lakota West could use a few more points on this drive. Hop out in front of the Vikings even more.
Lakota West is going to come out in that spread formation. Get a lot of wide receivers out wide.
So we see Bolden back to pass under pressure from the right side. Hits Brennan Remy across the middle. He's got the ball. He's going to drag his defender down to the 25-yard line. They will move the stick, so a 1st down and a big-time gain from Mitch Bolden to Brennan Remy. That connection that we've been seeing from the Firebirds all season long.
Yeah, that connection Didn't exist last year and is extremely special this year. You love to see that because this has been great what we've had with the two of them. And the two of them have struck this league and have made a big statement. And they're going to keep doing that all night and for the rest of the year.
4 wide once again. We see Trent Lloyd, the man in motion. Bad snap. Looked like an early snap from Key, a little miscommunication, and indeed they will call that a false start from the looks of it. And indeed it will be a false start, a big time saver for this West offense. Not quite sure what the miscommunication was, but Alex Key, that West center, snapping that ball early and low. Mitch Bolden unable to get to it. Not quite sure what that was, but Lakota West does end up getting saved, as we will now see a 1st and 15 instead of a potential turnover once again for this Vikings defense.
Those big time penalties are what's always going to eat up the team. And I said this before today, it'll be who wins the penalty battle.
Once again, 4 wide, Trent Lloyd coming over. Looks like they go with the same play. Bolden looks to throw, rolls out to his left. He's got a hole. He's going to run for quite a while across that 20. He pushed. Looked like he got to that first down marker. We'll see where they spot him out of bounds. But Mitch Bolden finds a hole and runs with it. And indeed, those chains will be moving. So Mitch Bolden turns a little nothing into something there, making that magic work. And the chains will move for Lakota West into the red zone.
He's going to tiptoe down that sideline. That was impressive balance and control from Bolden. It's really impressive when you got a guy as big as Mitch Bolden is, to have that much balance and just tiptoe his way around the sideline. That was pretty special there. And you love seeing him being able to carry himself and keep his head in the game in such a tough game.
2nd down for the Firebirds.
So it looks like they will call it 2nd down, not quite a first. We saw those chains move, and then we saw them move right on back. So it will be 2nd, but it is 2nd and short, 2nd and 1 after the 1st and 15 coming from the Alex Key false start on the Lakota West offensive line. We'll see Bolden in the gun. We'll see if they elect to go option here as they have so far in short yardage territories. Indeed, they will. Bolden, the keeper up the middle, pushes inside the 10 to the 5, spins down right at that 4 or 5 yard line in the red zone. So Lakota West lining up for a potential scoring drive, and this could be the 6 points they have needed all game long.
This first touchdown, if they get it, would be amazing. 10 points up in such a big game like this would be great.
So we'll see the keeper from Bolden. He's going to move. Pushes to the 1. There is a flag down in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
2 flags on the play.
There was definitely holding on that play. Not quite sure what the second penalty flag down is.
As we wait here for the refs to come out with their ruling.
So we'll see what that is. And indeed, we do get that holding call. See what the other is, and it is going to be face mask on Princeton. So those penalties will offset. Mitch Bolden did work his way down to the 1, but they will spot that ball back at the 5. So it'll be a replay of 1st down. 1st and goal from that 5. Another big down coming up for our Firebirds. Little under 5.5 minutes to go. We'll see Bolden and the offense line up in a big situation once again. See Trent Lloyd in the motion across the right, drawing a man on the jet sweep. Bolden gonna push, gets a yard or 2, moves that offensive line, but it'll be a 2nd down, not much closer to the end zone than they just were.
Yeah, good play there though. What you want is some small, consistent gains. They're 5 yards out and they just got 2 yards. Do that twice more and you've got a touchdown. So that's what they're seeing there. They're just going to use a bunch of diversions from all their very elusive backs and star players, and then they're going to power forward with whichever player they decide is going to keep the rock on this play.
Ball officially spotted at a 3 yard line, so 2nd and goal from the 3. West going to go with 4 wide once again. Gonzalez, the man in the backfield. Bolden takes the snap, looks to the end zone to Trent Lloyd. Did he catch it? They will say that is a touchdown. So 6 points put up on the board for Lakota West for the first time tonight as we see the W flag flown on that west sideline. So we will go 9-0. Tyler Bond going to be the man, the southpaw out to kick the PAT, looking to make it a 10-0 ball game. Trent Lloyd hasn't found the end zone many times this season. He did have that big run play last week, and I do believe that was his first receiving touchdown. As Bond going to drill that line drive kick straight back and through the upright. So we're going to take a quick step away. 10-0 now, your Lakota West Firebirds. A big-time lead over Princeton down here at Viking Stadium. We'll be right back in a few. Tyler Bond, just after he booted through the PAT, going to kick this one off to Princeton as they now trail 10-0 here in the second quarter. As the band plays on the kickoff return, we do get a late flag thrown, a couple late flags thrown on the play. Maybe a little extracurricular going on after that tackle.
That seemed to be a bit of unnecessary roughness on number 13 or taunting. He seems to be very mad about that one, and we'll see what they end up calling.
If it is, that is Kevin Jordan for the Princeton Vikings. We have not got a call on the field yet. There's 4:24 on the clock to play in the first half. Lakota West looking to maintain their 10-point lead, 10-0 here. We're still waiting on the referees to break their huddle and announce the penalty. And we will get a personal foul. And it looks like there are personal fouls on both sides, so they're going to offset. No damage done to either side, so we will see the ball spotted where it should be in the first place after both penalties. So we'll see the chains get set. A big offensive drive on the way for Princeton. And if you were Lakota West, they're definitely looking to keep that momentum that they've had all night on defense, not really allowing Princeton to move that ball very far. So we'll see RJ West coming out in shotgun, going to take the snap. So you do see that jet motion across the field, and that's going to be DeAndre Rutherford down the right sideline, going to hurdle a man down to the 45-yard line of their own territory, but Princeton is starting to move that ball. A big momentum swing if you were the Princeton Vikings offense.
That right there was Ben Minnick who got dealt in by that hurdle right there, and that's pretty bad. What we're seeing there is Princeton, they got some momentum. Well, all they need is to get some confidence and make a big play. And so we need to stop them right here and now and get them back to a place where they think they're contained.
RJ West takes the snap, handoff once again to who else but DeAndre Rutherford coming off the big play. Looked like he got almost half of it, about 4 yards on the carry. We'll see a 2nd and 6 on the way for the Vikings.
So far, Lakota West has forced this game to be what I talked about and what they need to be. They need it to be a slugfest. They need it to be physical, and they need it to be a defensive game. This game is not a shootout by any means at the moment, and West has played them into the cards they want, and now West just has to execute.
It'll be RJ West back instantly under pressure. Big hit from Jacob Asbeck came a little bit late, but he's able to dump it off on the left side of the field. That'll be DeAndre Rutherford once again able to move that ball down the field. We will see those chains move, so a first down, but Jacob Asbeck getting back there and causing some pressure.
Right there, Malik Hartford wraps him up at his feet, and Michael Brandkamp comes at the top part. And Rutherford getting a little bit handsy there, pulls on Mike Brandkamp, and he's a little bit annoyed, but no call, and here we come out. First down.
See the 1st and 10 snap taken. He's going to run up the middle. RJ not going to get very far on that one as he tries to keep her, and it looks like it'll go for a loss of yards. A couple Firebirds in on the tackle.
Mike Brandkamp, the Mike linebacker, comes in, comes right through that giant A-gap and storms and catches him up in his feet. And while he's stumbling around there, Elijah Davis, big breakout player this year. He was already solid in years before, but now he's really finding his groove. Comes in and finishes the job to get the sack. And now Princeton looking at about 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15, but now under 3 minutes to play in the first half, as we'll see West take the snap. No pressure, looks to throw off target and incomplete. So a 3rd and long on the way for what looked like a start to a promising drive for the Vikings.
This is exactly what I said needed to happen. Princeton got a couple big games. They're feeling themselves. They're confident. They're ready to go. And so what West needs to do is force a big play of their own. Makes Princeton sit right back down, put them in their place, and then West now starts feeling themselves. So now we've got a good thing that's happening exactly like I said it needed to, and West is in a good spot with Princeton at 3rd and 14.
2:31 off after the clock starts on that incompletion. It'll be R.J. West in shotgun, back to throw. Under pressure once again, hands are up. The ball will not be tipped. Out to the left side, didn't look like they quite reached that first down marker, but it will be quite the gain for the Princeton offense as those chains move closer together. And we'll see if that Princeton offense elects to go for it once again on 4th down. And it looks like that offense is indeed staying out on the turf.
This right here, this is one of the biggest plays of the game, no doubt, and it's going to be huge. Let's see what Princeton comes up with.
It is loud. He stands shaking on the Princeton side of the field. Handoff wrapped up instantly. Oh, the ball is out. Ball is out. It's scooped up. That's Tabron Benny Powell. Tabron Benny down the left sideline. Nobody in his way. That's going to be a scoop and score for the West offense. The play that they needed. There is a late flag down on the field after the play, but Tabron, what a play. Scooping it, taking it to the house. Big time touchdown. We'll see what the call is after the play.
Right there, Princeton tried getting too cute there. They had a nice run, which looked like it would have been stopped, but it would have been solid. And they decided, hey, let's try some laterals. Let's try some fun stuff. And what happened? West said, no. We're here for business, and you're not going to have your little party here. And so they're going to get thrown backwards, and it's not going to work. And so it looks like it's going to stand as a touchdown, the ref calls. And so we're going to get Tyler Bond out here to kick and put us up 17-0, going up on maybe going into the halftime.
And the 16 officially put on the scoreboard. So West increasing their lead, and so far what is the biggest game of the year for the Firebirds. One of the best games all around the country today. You got the number 7 team in Ohio in Princeton taking on our number 4 ranked Lakota West Firebirds as we see the Southpaw get ready to boot this one up through the uprights. 2 practice kicks in for Tyler Bond.
Tyler Bond's been incredible his whole career. First team GMC honors last year, I believe so, if I'm correct. The kid's electric. And here he comes out to continue his great career he's had here at Lakota West.
Only 1 miss on a PAT, and that was a block in week 1 against St. X. That one is up, and it is good. So 17-0 now our score. A big-time play from Tabron Benny Powell in the West defense. We'll be right back. Lakota West maintains control.
And welcome back to Lakota West football. Every fan watching our broadcast right now has a big smile on their face. It is 17-0 Lakota West, and that clock is about to tick down, and we're about to go into halftime. Princeton right now is sitting on their sideline, shocked. They thought, oh yeah, we're going to beat West. We have outscored them in all categories. Well, here's the thing. You haven't played St. X. You haven't played these tough teams, which is the reason Lakota West has this veteran ability and is very strong. But here comes Tyler Bond to kick it away. And here we go with the squib kick, trying to cut off as much time as he possibly can. Big hit there. Looks like Mike Brandkamp's going to come up with that shoulder, lead straight in, and knock out that Princeton runner before he can get anything big going. And now Princeton's coming out here trying to just put up anything on the scoreboard before they go into halftime with a big 0.
Lakota West defense coming back out after a big tide turner. Tabron Benny Powell able to scoop and return the fumble all the way to the end zone. Now Lakota West up 17-0, a big-time lead over a big-time player in the Ohio football world.
First down for the Vikings.
Princeton set in the shotgun.
See RJ West take the snap back to throw. Once again under pressure. And that's going to be Jacob Asbeck wreaking havoc, getting back there, dragging down RJ West. So they're going to be right back behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd and long on the way as we are now under a minute and a half to play in the first half.
Second down for the Vikings.
So we'll see RJ West lined up after the loss. The clock's still running, no timeouts called. It'll be DeAndre Rutherford on the handoff to the right side, right back to the original line of scrimmage. A little bit of contact late. And I do believe a timeout will be called to stop the clock at a minute 5 seconds. And it will be a timeout for Lakota West.
Right now, what we're seeing here is West is forcing Princeton into moments where they can't get anything done, and Princeton's struggling, and so they go, hey, let's get the ball back. Let's put even more points on this board. Let's really throw Princeton into that locker room practically sulking. And so they're calling the timeouts. They're controlling this game and expect West to try making a big play.
So we'll see 3rd and 12 officially on the way for Princeton after the West timeout. But absolutely big drive on the way for both sides. Lakota West looking to maybe get one more possession before the half, looking to run up that score on one of the top teams in Ohio.
Teams come out set. Well, we're about to. Coaches say, hey, we have another minute.
We do have an ambulance in the background that just pulled into the stadium, so we apologize for the background noise, but it just left.
We don't believe a player was injured. We did not see any, so we hope for the best for whoever went off in that ambulance. But here we are coming out for a huge 3rd down. Whatever happens here could shift the tides for the rest of the game. I expect Princeton to run it and try eating up as much of West's timeouts or clock as possible.
So we'll see RJ West on the 2nd and 12. Handoff up the middle. DeAndre Rutherford finds a hole. Fighting to that first down marker. Did he get it? No. He is short by quite a bit. Now officially under a minute. The 4th down signal is up from the referees. Princeton is going to go for it on 4th down once again by the looks of it. I do not believe they've had a successful 4th down conversion all night long, but it looks like they intend to go for one more here.
Yeah, they're 0 for 2 so far. And really what's been a big part of that defense tonight is Malik Hartford. You saw in that last play, nobody could tackle that running back coming down the left side of the stretch. And he right there recognizes, he sees the blocker going in to block him right at the shoulders and meet him eye to eye. He lowers his shoulders, gets low, hits the running back in the ankles, and causes him to go down to the ground and forces right there a big stop.
So this West defense was out and ready to go. Princeton a little bit of communication getting set, and there will be a timeout called by Princeton. So we'll step aside for a minute. We'll be right back in a few. Stick with us. West leads 17-0. $17 to nothing our score. We are right back at Viking Stadium down I-75 here in Princeton. We do want to take a moment to appreciate today's sponsor, Buffalo Wings and Rings on 747. They did supply us with the $15 gift card that we will be giving away in the 3rd quarter of tonight's ball game, as we do get yet another timeout called. This one going to be Lakota West. 17 seconds remaining in the half. We've seen a battle of the timeouts go back and forth here in the second quarter.
Well, first timeout we saw there was Princeton being a little bit strategic. They know that West, they've been elite on fourth down so far. And what they want to do is they want to climb all over and waste this clock. And so they run that clock out completely and call a timeout at the last second to bring in a B plan in case everything goes wrong. But West here, they just wanted to take a look at that Princeton offense. They let that offense get set for a second there. They take a look, they go, oh, that's interesting. And so now they call a timeout, and they go and talk to their defense and go, let's think about this. I need you to watch this guy, and that guy. And so here we come back out after the timeout. Both teams now feeling like they're in the best spot that they wanted to be in. And here comes the biggest play of this half so far once again.
And it looks like the punt team now out for Princeton. Not quite sure what we're seeing here from this Vikings sideline. And both student sections now getting loud. Not quite sure what Princeton is going for. We saw the timeout battle. And now all to kick it away by the looks of it. And we are going to see a flag. And I do believe that will be on Lakota West for jumping that one. Oh, no, they're going to call that a false start on Princeton. So they're going to back up 5 more yards, make it a 4th and 7.
Right there, that's the final nail in the coffin for Princeton drive. They might have tried making a fake. We don't know what they were going to do with that punt. But now at 4th and 8, it's pretty set in stone. They're about to kick this ball, and Lakota's going to get it back. But with only 17 seconds, unless Brennan Remy, which it wouldn't surprise me if he did, makes a huge return, expected to take a knee and let this one go to the locker room.
Looks like there are 2 men deep for Lakota West, possibly protecting the fake punt. They get back there, lots of pressure, contact on the punter, so a flag will go flying out. The kick bounces inside the 10. So undoubtedly going to be a running into the kicker penalty. We'll see if they go as far as to call it a roughing. That is Malik Hartford back there where the punter was. He has a little conversation with the ref. And indeed, we do get the personal foul call. And it will be running into the kicker. So the automatic first down on the play. Chains move, the Vikings get one more crack at it. They did run down that clock, almost shooting themselves in the foot. Not great foresight from the Princeton offensive unit, but they do have 9 seconds to work with, and they do trot closer to field goal range. We'll see if they play it close and elect to go for the 3-point attempt. So the ball spotted just up past the Firebirds' 40-yard line at the 39. See that offense led by RJ West trot back out. Under 10 seconds on the clock, looking to do some damage to the 17-0 deficit that they have fallen into. One of the big tide turners was that Tabron Benny Powell scoop and score to increase that 10-point lead for Lakota West. And we'll get another whistle before the play to blow it dead. And that will be yet another timeout, this one for Lakota West. Once again, taking a look at that Princeton side of the ball. So we're going to take a quick step aside after the timeout once again. We'll be right back in a few. 17-0, your Firebirds lead the Vikings. We are back, 17-0, our lead in Princeton. The Firebirds 17 points over the Vikings team that we thought, we'd see a little bit more fight out of them in this game, being one of the top teams in Ohio. RJ West going to be back to throw. A little bit of pressure. Throw to the right sideline. Caught out of bounds at the 20. There is a flag down in the backfield. Looks like Elijah Davis, the man, upset with the call.
Elijah Davis, they completely held him. They grabbed him around the neck and took him down like they were grabbing and tackling a bear. Like that right there was one of the most egregious holding fouls I have seen this year in this high school football season. I knew before that ball came out of RJ West's hands, no matter what happened this play, it was coming back. And just as I say it, like I said, here goes the chains moving way back. It appears that they called even more than a holding there, because like I said, that was dirty what happened to Elijah Davis there. That was a bad foul.
So now 3 seconds to play in the half. If Princeton had any any hopes of a score before halftime, you got to think those are pretty minimized now. It will stay first down, but it'll be 1st and 22 officially according to the scoreboard down here at Princeton. They have 3 seconds, probably not going to get out of bounds, able to move closer to field goal range, so they are going to take a shot deep at the end zone. And I think it'll be a handoff, actually. DeAndre Rutherford up the middle, time runs out, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 35-yard line. So both teams going to take a trot into the locker room at halftime. Your Lakota West Firebirds up big time over the number 7 team in the state, 17-0 our score. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for the third quarter and more on the Lakota West Student Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back to second half action. We are up 17-0, your Lakota West Firebirds. As you see here, Lakota West has dominated Princeton in all three sides of the game so far. And Princeton, who's been feeling themselves dominating every team this year, all of a sudden finds themselves in a really bad spot. And so what we're seeing here is Princeton shook, now coming out of their locker room a little scared, but have to be ready to come out. Lakota West though, student section's loud, team's loud, we're ready. And here comes second half action. Here any second now as the teams come back out and warm up. We love all of you guys who have shown up and shown out. We want to remind you that once again we are having the problem where we can only get 175 viewers in at one time. And while that does suck, we love that all of you guys are coming out, and that just shows how much support we have gathered as a club. So we want to ask if everyone watching now can please subscribe, because the problem is since we don't have 1,000 subscribers, YouTube thinks, oh, we shouldn't have this much views. And so they want to block us thinking we might be using robots or fake accounts. And so once we get 1,000 subscribers, nobody will be blocked out. So if you could please subscribe. One other reminder is coming up here in this third quarter, we have a giveaway. Buffalo Wings and Rings, the one on 747, who's been very gracious to us, plays us up in their restaurants all the time, has given us a gift card to give away. And we are very excited, and we are happy to give that away. It'll be happening sometime this third quarter. Make sure your brains are racked, and make sure you guys are ready to answer the trivia question so that you can make sure you secure the gift card. That'll once again happen in this third quarter. But here we are now. Teams that are finishing up their warm-up, and the refs are coming out to the center of the field to confirm. It looks like the second half is about to get underway.
So, Grant, we did see a lot of interesting action in that first half, most notably that Princeton offense seems to be struggling quite a bit against this West team, especially that defensive front. Guys like Elijah Davis and Jacob Asbeck getting into that backfield and absolutely wreaking havoc, causing guys like RJ West to be a little bit more inaccurate than they would normally be. What do you think we're going to see adjustment-wise from this Princeton offense coming out in half number 2?
Well, what have they done all game? Throwing the ball. And one of the few times they've been successful, when they ran the ball. And see, Princeton's going to come out here and expect number 2 to be getting that ball all night long. But here's the thing. While running the ball might work for them so far, and it might be what they want, the problem is there's only 2 quarters of play left. And if they run that ball, that clock doesn't stop moving. And so what we're going to see here is the clock ticking down, and Princeton down 17, and West is going to get the ball in between every single one of their scores. They don't just get the ball back to back. And so now here's Princeton, and they've got to find a balance. RJ West needs to get more comfortable behind his offensive line, who, while has been shaky, has provided him with a bit of time. And so he needs to get comfortable and hit those throws while they're running, while they also need to bounce those runs. And finally, their biggest thing I think they'll be looking for is to kill those penalties, because that's what's killed them tonight.
And we did mention that technical difficulty we were having earlier where YouTube is capping our views. So we do want to refresh those of you who are maybe new in this second half, didn't get a chance to catch that first half of action. You do see on the screen our score 17-0. Only 10 of those points coming on offense for Lakota West. We did see a big fumble. Tabron Benny Powell able to scoop the ball at the 50-yard line and return it all the way back to the end zone. A 50-yard scoop and score that put West up 17-0. And he continues to be another force on this defense, continuing to pressure Princeton all night long.
Yeah, there's been a lot going wrong for Princeton, a lot going right for Lakota West. Tonight is Lakota West statement game. They're not here to win. They're here to say, we're winning it all this year. They're looking at state. They see that they have a 7 next to their name and not a number 1, and they're laughing. They're saying, tonight's the night. We show you why. We are the best team. And so here we go. Teams are coming out, and we're ready for some second half action.
Both teams getting set. Lakota West received the ball in the first half. They will be the ones getting ready to boot it away. Tyler Bond, the man, the southpaw kicker, ready to get it away to Princeton, who still trails 17 as we enter the second half of play. Lakota West, as we mentioned, dominant all half long on defense. They look to continue here, bringing that pressure on quarterback RJ West. DeAndre Rutherford, the running back, also with a big half. See if we see any more of him in half number 2 as that Bond kick goes right through the back of the end zone, a touchback. So Princeton going to start with the ball on their own 20-yard line to begin half number 2.
Yeah, I expect DeAndre Rutherford to get a lot more touches this half, especially after every time he's gotten the ball, he's been dominant coming down that stretch. You really got to see him more. And so I expect this first play to be a run.
Well, we'll see what your foresight skills look like. Maybe you can be a bit of a sidekick. We'll see if DeAndre Rutherford going to get this handoff. We'll see RJ West in shotgun, the jet motion, handoff to DeAndre Rutherford, works to the left side, able to get a few out of it. West picking up on that run, not going to let him get a ton of yardage on the carry.
Right there, just as I was saying, they're going to come out. They realize that this running back's been dominant, and they're going to try leaning on him. But here's the thing. If I realize it up in the booth, if they realize it down on the field, you know who's also realized it? Coach Bolden. And he's already got them locked in and looking at that running back.
And here we go, another handoff up the middle. They see DeAndre Rutherford as their key to victory in half number 2. He's going to be able to carry for quite a bit there, gets about half of the yards to go. So we'll see a 3rd and 1, potentially even less than 1, maybe a 3rd and inches. No doubt, probably going to be seeing DeAndre Rutherford up the middle once again.
Yeah, like I said, they're going to lean on DeAndre Rutherford this half. RJ West has been nothing to talk about or go home to say. But here they are, and they shut him down.
DeAndre up the middle, and he gets nowhere. A loss of yardage on the play. And we'll see a 4th down here early in the second half. These Vikings love to go for 4th down in half number 1, but they did go 0 for 3 on conversions. And indeed, we will see a personnel switch as the punt unit going to come on for the Princeton Vikings. And it looks like Lakota West is going to get their first crack at offense in the second half.
Yeah, see, like I said, everyone knows that DeAndre Rutherford was going to get that ball. He was dominant in the first half, so everyone knows they were going to try having him be dominant in the second, and we were prepared. We shut him down quick, and now they're forced to punt.
As we said, 0 for 3 on 4th downs. They choose to punt it away to the return man, Brennan Remy, able to carry it across the 50-yard line before stumbling out of bounds in Princeton territory. Dakota West going to have the ball 1st and 10. We're going to step aside for just a moment. We'll be right back in a few. West with the ball when we return. They lead Princeton 17-0. And we're back 17-0 our score. Your Lakota West Firebirds trot out on the offensive side of the ball for the first time in the 3rd quarter. Coming out of the locker rooms, we'll see what the adjustments are. Bolden with the fake handoff, keeper to the right side down to the Princeton 40-yard line. Looked like he had a hole just brought down by the knees or the ankles there, just shy of that 1st down marker. Could have been something big if he would have got away with that one.
Right there. I'm going to shut up right now because we've got a play already going.
Blown up instantly in the backfield. Bolden going to try and keep it, but he's wrapped up by multiple Vikings. The West offensive line didn't do a great job of picking up that pressure, and they go down for quite a hefty loss.
West right there caught me off guard. They were trying to play with tempo and catch Princeton off guard. They really wanted to get to their line and get set because they saw something in that last play that they liked to read. That first play on this drive was very good by Mitch Bolden to read that blitzing linebacker, but here we are with 3rd down.
From 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 7. Bolden looking to draw Princeton off sides with that one. Who moves up under center, looking to make some audibles or high routes to get his offense moving downfield on this 3rd and long. He takes the snap, no handoff, no play fake. Gets it to the sideline just short. Looked like that was intended for Trent Lloyd. He might have been grabbed a little bit there, but no penalty flags are down, so we will see a 4th down on the way for the Firebirds.
For a second there, without Mitch stepped right behind that offensive line, how that running back stepped up right in front of the ball, I thought we were about to see a Philly special. I was about to be so happy, and I was about to be out of my seat. But it was just a little bit of communication, and it seems like West is going to be forced to come out in punt formation as both teams have gone immediately out in their first drive back from the halftime.
From 1 3 and out to another, Lakota West ready to boot this one away. It's the Notre Dame man, Ben Minnick. It is up into the night sky, caught around the 7-yard line. Big time blown up. Looked like he had his knee down, but he's going to keep going, and he finds a hole. To the 50, the 45, the 40 shuts a tackle, the 30, 25, 20. He is going to go to the end zone. A punt return touchdown for the Princeton Vikings. Was he down shy of the 10-yard line? Lakota West wants that call. It does not look like they are going to get it. And everyone seems to be signaling touchdown on the field. So Princeton getting their first 6 points of the day up. It does look like the referees, a little bit of miscommunication among themselves. But head coach Bolden in that west sideline furious over that call, but indeed it will stand. So the Vikings get their first 6 of the night up on the board. A controversial punt return call. We'll see if they can make it a 10-point, 17-7 ball game after the PAT.
That seemed like his knee was straight into the ground. Ref even threw the marker down, but once again, there's no challenges here in high school football. So it's going to go as a touchdown for Princeton.
No red flags, and the call is not going back. The PAT is up, and it is good for a mile. 17-7, our new score. A very controversial call, but we'll be right back in a few. 17-7, our new score. We'll be right back with more after this. A now 10-point Firebird lead down here at Viking Stadium in Princeton. 17-7 now after the Vikings on a punt return. Looked like they were down at the 7. Unfortunately, no challenge flags on the sidelines in OHSAA football, so it will go for 7 points. Now the Vikings fighting right back into this ball game as Lakota West going to have yet another offensive possession on the way.
That was heartbreaking there for Lakota West. They'd held this team back, and their defense has been electric. And the player seemed to have his knee straight into the ground on the first tackle, but they're going to roll him still up. And here we go, now with only a 10-point lead.
Kickoff is up, and it is away. Best kickoff from Princeton we've seen so far tonight. It'll be Ben Minnick, the man taking the kick return. Will we go back to back? Ben Minnick, he breaks free. The Notre Dame man. Retaliation to the house. Touchdown, Ben Minnick and your West Firebirds.
Oh, they're going to call holding in the backfield, and they're going to bring that back. That ref, I don't know about that one, sir. We're going to have to take a look back at what you called after that, especially after the knee into the ground on the last play. Something seems a little bit against West these last 2 plays here.
Yeah, not quite sure what the change was with these refs at halftime. Potentially back-to-back blown calls really costing Lakota West. I know we are media who are supposed to stay a little unbiased, but you gotta wonder. I mean, both of those calls seem to personally be going against Lakota West.
While we are media, and media are supposed to stay unbiased, we are the Lakota West media, and we support Lakota West through and through. So, you know, we may be a little bit biased, but those calls seemed egregious.
From the end zone to the 10-yard line of their own territory after the holding call. 8:31 on the clock in the third. Mitch Bold looking to lead this offense downfield. Jet sweep handoff finds Trent Lloyd. Trent Lloyd going to move to the 15-yard line, picks up about half of it. We'll see a 2nd and 5.
We want to thank you all once again for staying tuned in. We love the consistent viewership, and we once again want to apologize for YouTube's horrendous guideline that has stopped so many people from watching the game tonight. We hope you guys all have really loved this, and we want to ask you guys all to subscribe so this does not become a problem again.
We do thank each and every one of you, and we ask that you do subscribe as it would help us out. Trent Lloyd helps out the offense there, carrying that one across the marker for the first down. And those chains going to move once again for the Firebirds.
Honestly, this might be the better outcome. While getting that touchdown pulled back does hurt, having your momentum taken away from you, it doesn't really work. They say in baseball, the biggest rally killer is a home run. And so right there, when you need momentum, the one-play touchdown isn't what's going to get your offense back into this. You need a good, long, sustained drive, and that's what West is trying to put together.
We do love bringing baseball on into the gridiron on these broadcasts, as we'll see another jet sweep handoff. Trent Lloyd for the third time this drive finds a hole, spins, beats his man, pushes across the 40, and the Firebirds nearly to midfield already on the run from Trent Lloyd.
Trent Lloyd, he's been explosive on handoffs all season long, and he's just going to continue to do that. He's been the man for handoffs, and he's going to keep being the man tonight.
So another big move downfield for the Firebirds, another new set of down, 1st and 10 on the 43-yard line of their own territory. We'll see Bolden take the snap once again. That handoff and the jet sweep to Trent Lloyd. He's not going to go anywhere. There is a penalty flag down on the play, potentially a holding on Lakota West, and indeed it will be. So back him up even more after the big Trent Lloyd rush, and we'll see a 1st and long from our Firebirds offensive unit.
That right there is what we call a drive killer. That's how you destroy momentum that was slowly building in West, and West now is faced with a huge 1st down and tremendous odds to overcome. They need to avoid those penalties, and once again, I go to it every week. It's going to come down to who commits less penalties. And West so far this season, while they have been completely electric all season, they've just been sloppy and gotten so many small fouls at huge points in the game. And if West wants to win state, they're going to have to fix that.
We'll see 4 out wide for Lakota West. Bolden in the shotgun with Gonzalez out to his right, and we are going to get a Lakota West timeout. So we'll see both teams trot off to the sideline, and we do want to stay with you as we are going to get to that $15 Wings and Rings gift card giveaway. We are brought to you by the Wings and Rings on 747. They have given us this $15 gift card. And the trivia question of the night, first one to answer correctly in the live chat, Jacob Asbeck, the linebacker for Lakota West, not only leads Lakota West in tackles and sacks, but he leads the GMC in sacks as well, with how many entering tonight, not including tonight. How many sacks did Jacob Asbeck have coming into tonight's game? The first person to correctly put that in our YouTube live stream chat will win a $15 Wings and Rings gift card. So be sure to go to Wings and Rings on 747. Thanks to them for supporting our broadcast, and thanks for them to making this giveaway possible.
We will not be able to tell you guys which viewer won that, as now YouTube is restricting even us from looking at our video. So we hope you guys have fun, and we hope to get to answer correctly. We'll check in after the game, and we'll tweet out the winner, and we'll reach out to them over there. But currently, let's get back to some Firebird football.
So it'll be Mitch Bolden coming out looking to lead the offense on 1st and 20. Tabron Benny Powell, the man in motion, headed to the left side of the field. Bolden rolls out to his left, looks to throw, and that'll hit Tabron Benny Powell in the chest as it falls incomplete. A dropped Tabron pass. It'll move to 2nd and 20 off the incompletion.
That right there reminds me of St. X. Once again, so many big plays and big opportunities, but drop passes hold us back. This receiving core has struggled in multiple games with drop passes, and hopefully they get that fixed, because this is the halfway point of the year. There's only one half left before that tournament comes rolling around, and you don't want to be caught off guard by a drop pass, as we were last year against Moeller with a drop pass on the first big play of the game, which probably killed us that whole game and made us lose.
Lakota West hurrying out to get set. We see 3 wide to the right side, 1 wide on the left, and there is a flag thrown instantly. See what the call is, and it'll move against Lakota West. So a 2nd and long moves to 2nd and even longer on the penalty. So we are now about 6.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Be a 5-yard penalty, and now 2nd and 25 on the way from Bolden and the offense. Once again, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Bolden and shotgun. Gonzalez, the man to his right in the backfield. He's back to pass, going to take it up the middle under pressure. Evades many tacklers, gets right back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe even a bit more. So 3rd and now under 10 from what was a 2nd and 25 from Mitch Bolden in this offensive unit.
Mitch Bolden's electric. See, when his pass game starts to get locked up, maybe a couple receivers drop a ball, what happens? Mitch Bolden's got legs that just can't be stopped. He's a big guy with speed and balance, and that's a trio that cannot be beat in this game of football. And so here we are with Mitch Bolden out to lead his offense to a big 3rd down.
3rd and 9 officially. Bolden going to take the snap, play action, looks to throw. That's going to be Junior Gonzalez. He's got the first and a lot more fights down that right sideline. We'll see where they said he stepped out of bounds, but he got the first down by quite a few.
Right there, this is what I was talking about. While the touchdown wave put us up quickly on that kickoff return, a long, sustained drive is what's really putting us out there, and that's what's great. And this is what West needed to isolate this game and end it. Not to even speak about how much time is being taken off, but here we are with the offense set to go.
West with 4 men out wide. It'll be a jet sweep handoff. That's Giovanni Wilson going to take it up the middle for a couple. Now under 5:45 to play in the 3rd quarter. West still up by 10.
It's a great night out for football. It's cool, like 77 degrees right now. It's beautiful. I'm sure those players and those pads are hot. Us up here in the booth, though, just enjoying life with this nice weather. The Friday night lights fully in effect now. Love to see those big lights. Sadly, we're not at West, so we don't have the lights flick out when Lakota West absolutely just destroys Princeton on this next play.
Be Bolden back to pass. There is a flag in the backfield. Bolden going to work his way through the heart of the offensive line. Pushes for a few. We'll see where that penalty ends up going. And it will be a holding on Lakota West. So back them up even more on 2nd down. Didn't quite destroy Princeton on that play.
Yeah, sadly not. Hey, but you know what I do want to point out? This is the first game where I think we are beating the refs. Us broadcast team are beating the refs tonight, and we're looking good finally. Every game we struggle with their colors and their a little bit confusing announcements. We've got, I think, every call right so far tonight.
Yeah, I think that kick return that we saw, I think personally we got that call right. I don't know about the refs on the field, but I think we're doing a better job up here.
You know, we should ref and call the game.
I mean, hey, if it works.
Might give like 30-yard penalties every play to Lakota West.
We'll see.
You know, who knows?
4:40 on the game clock and counting. Mitch Bolden takes a snap, looks deep, tries to hit Brennan Remy. Looks like it bounced off the turf, and it bounces out of his hands anyway. So we'll see a 3rd and 20 on the way for our Firebirds offensive unit.
That right there was pretty bad. What we see there is a drive killer. Lakota West was able to come a 2nd and 25 with a big run up the middle by Mitch Bolden to really set up a much shorter 3rd down. But now you've got a long 3rd down, and this is something West has not had to deal with yet this game.
5 out wide for Lakota West. Do you see Brennan Remy closest to us on the Princeton sideline? As that throw short and incomplete. It bounced off the turf. They're going to call it a trap catch intended for Josh Fussell, the Northwestern commit, and the punt team going to trot out on the field.
That right there was a little bit of interesting play calling. They had a bunch of receivers running curls and cutbacks, which is fine, but the down marking was 3rd and 20. I think Coach Bolden's thought process there was he doesn't want to concede a big interception that gives up even more momentum. He was fine with just trying to make a small gain, and now is bringing out the punt team.
Ben Minnick, the Notre Dame athlete who seems to do it all for this West team, kicks that one away. They're going to let it bounce inside the 5-yard line before picking that one up. They're going to run it down the Princeton sideline across the 20. Multiple flags down in the backfield. And it looked like that one is going to go against Princeton, but we do see late contact now on a Viking. Maybe a couple calls on the way after that punt. See what the call on the field is. The referee's still huddling up.
Refs are coming together. They're like, oh, we've got a foul on 4 players on this team and 4 players on that team. So they're trying to figure out what they're calling yardage here. A little bit too much chip in there and some emotions. And so we're maybe thinking about 2 fouls here. You might have heard it flying around the booth up here. It might be a holding and a personal foul. One going against each team. The personal foul going against West. Obviously that hurt more because the player might be gone out if it is that bad of a foul. And we'll see what the refs, now they come out to tell us what's going to happen.
It did look like a clear late hit from Lakota West. So there is that holding call, which will be going against Princeton. The penalty will be declined. We have an illegal block in the back on Princeton. That penalty will be declined. Now we have an illegal block in the back again. And it will be a first down for Lakota West as they move ever closer to the goal line.
So they're going to say those first 2 fouls cancel out. No yardage awarded to either team. But then there was 2 blocks in the back, and so that's going to count. And now we're going to have the ball on the Princeton 1-yard line. Or maybe 2. We're a little bit unclear. As you can see from the camera angle, they're back deep. So I expect West to come out and at least a Sam blitz, multiple linebackers coming in. And I expect to see a heavy set because West sees right here, hey, we can get not just 2 points, but the ball back as well.
And I do want to apologize. I did say it was Firebirds ball. It is Princeton ball. A little bit of miscommunication up here in the booth, but it will be Princeton on the 1-yard line. They got 99 yards to go. This West defensive front has caused pressure all night long. They look to do so here. RJ West takes the snap from back in their own end zone. DeAndre Rutherford handoff goes absolutely nowhere. Can't quite see from our angle if he was in the end zone, but I do believe he got it out past the goal line, so we will not see 2 points for Lakota West. A ball spotted at about the 1.5.
Danger still looms for Princeton as they only got 1 yard, maybe back to the line of scrimmage on that one. And so the problem we're seeing there is Princeton not anywhere out of the danger zone. And we're going to come back and we're going to have to snap it again.
RJ West takes a snap. He's going to run with it. Looked like he was wrapped up for a while by a couple of Firebirds, but he's able to work his way down to about the 5-yard line. So we'll see a 3rd and about 5 or so on the way for RJ West and the Princeton Vikings offense.
That right there was what Princeton needed. Backed up in their own spot. They needed to really get out of there quick and get a little bit of yardage so they can try making something. But West here now with a different type of opportunity. Not quite exactly 2 points on the line, but they have the opportunity to force a turnover and make this punt happen on 4th down.
3rd and 4 officially now under 3 minutes in the 3rd quarter. RJ West takes a snap, fakes the handoff, quick screen set up. It'll be blown up well shy of the first down marker, and it'll be a 4th down inside their own 10-yard line.
And here comes the punt team.
4th down for the Vikings.
So Princeton electing to go for quite a few of those 4th downs in the first half, playing a little more safe in half number 2 as they now trail by 10 due to the controversial punt return. It's now a 10-point deficit. We are under 2.5 to go in the 3rd. 4th and 4, the official spot here at Viking Field in Princeton. Punter backed up midway through the end zone. Not a lot of room, and we have a flag before the play. And it will be a delay of, oh no, they're gonna call a timeout before the delay of game. So they save themselves from backing up even more closer to the goal line as we now hit 2 minutes and 4 seconds. So Princeton gonna save themselves there. But this offense, we thought they'd adjust a little bit more heading out of those locker rooms, but Grant, they don't seem to be performing quite as well as they would have hoped.
Yeah, Princeton's just not having the game they wanted. But here's the thing. I think this falls down into lack of skill compared to West. West has way too many star players, and overall, biggest thing is West, they have veteran ability. This Princeton team is using a quarterback who is his first year starting for Princeton. And while he might have been electric, this is his first time facing a real team. Like, he's faced a lot of teams, and they've put up some challenging, but Dakota West, they are the first true challenge that RJ West has had to face, and he's not been able to adapt well.
And we have seen the rising of some of those young stars this game, Jacob Asbeck and Elijah Davis, to name a few, on that defensive front, wreaking havoc all game as we get a short punt. Scooped by Brennan Remy. He'll take it across the Princeton 30. He keeps running inside the 25, now breaks the 20, down at around the 17 of Princeton territory. So West moving close to that end zone, looking to increase that 10-point lead back up to 17, where it should have been before that punt return from Princeton.
Right there, an awful punt by that Princeton punter. He was backed up, but it's going to easily force Lakota to get a good play there and make it large. And so now Lakota coming out on the Princeton 18-yard line, already in field goal range, but in a perfect spot in the red zone to really take over and make big time.
We will see the ball spotted on the 18, officially 1st and 10, under 2 minutes to play in the quarter. Mitch Bolden takes a snap, rolls out to his right, looking to throw, lots of pressure brought down by multiple Vikings, a loss of 3 on the play, sack by multiple Princeton Vikings.
Right there was a bad play, but we would like to divert our attention here as we've got an injured Princeton Viking. He's a little bit struggling right now. Hopefully he's fine and it's just cramping, but we're going to respect his privacy really right here, and we're going to let him have his time, and his trainers are going to come up and they're going to work on him, and hopefully he gets up and gets out of here quickly.
And we are back at Princeton. 17-7 our score after the injury timeout. And we did see there was a Lakota West Firebird limping off the field. I do believe that was number 4. That would be Trent Lloyd for the West Firebirds. If it is Trent Lloyd, that would be a huge blow to this West offense. Returning our attention to the play, it'll be Mitch Bolden looking to throw. Nearly batted down, intercepted almost on the pass intended for number 1, Malik Hartford. Bolden unable to hit him on the completion, and we will see now a 3rd down.
2 notes there. First off, I want to mention that Princeton player who did go down seemed to get up after a bit on his own and was able to get back to the sideline without help, which is great to see there. And second of all, Malik Hartford recognized the opening in the middle of the field, and it seemed to be a man defense where it was a mismatch. And so he comes into that open field and just hooks in, but Bolden doesn't see him and waits too long, and that defensive back is able to get on that play.
So we'll see the 3rd and long, 3rd and 14. Bolden throws across the middle, hits Brendan Remy, who stumbles, falls at about the 2, and they will call him down. Nearly a Lakota West touchdown, but he falls just shy inside the 5-yard line. Big time play for the Firebirds offense.
Yeah, this isn't the NFL where you have to be touchdown. Sadly, if any part of your body hits that ground, even if nobody touched you, you're immediately down. Sometimes you just got to go, I wish that we had that rule, but sadly we don't. And it's going to be it's going to be a 4th and goal. But it looks like Lakota's going to stay out here because they realize they have a chance to really put this game away.
And it is a first down as we hit under a minute to play in the third quarter. It'll be first and goal from the 3. So we see the keeper from Bolton on the fake jet sweep handoff. Nobody got a hand on him. He's able to walk into the end zone, put up 6 more on the board for Lakota West. Tyler Bond going to come out looking to kick the PAT as the W flag flies across the west sideline. A big-time score for our Lakota West Firebirds.
Right there, that was just a regular read option that Lakota runs constantly. Bolton's always elite at executing on those, and he executes as he does every time they run that play. But here comes Bond to kick it away and make this a 24-7 lead.
The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is up and drilled by the southpaw Bond. So 24-7 now our score. 44 seconds on the clock in the third quarter. Princeton looking to battle back. We'll be right back with some more action. Stick with us. And we are back in Princeton, 24-7 our score. Tyler Bond puts the ball on the tee, ready to kick this one away to Princeton, who looks to fight their way back in this ball game. Their only points of the day coming on that questionable punt return. Some say it should have been called back. If you're a Princeton fan, you probably say that he was not down and it stands. But regardless, Lakota West put those points right back up on the board as they kick this one away. Taken at the 3-yard line by Princeton, able to fight to the 25. Hit big by the Firebirds. And that'll be spotted just around the 17-yard line or so.
A bit interesting there. The band just started playing in the middle of the play, and it's a bit confusing because usually noise is not allowed during plays due to players needing to be able to talk. So a bit interesting, not even a ref call. And they're still going strong, so we'll see what's happening.
Yeah, we have seen that from them all game. Very unusual for a band to do that. Refs haven't seemed to pay any attention to it throughout tonight. So we see the keeper from RJ West fools the West defense pretty well, stays on his feet, breaking tackles down the Princeton sideline. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. It looked like he carried it up past the 40. It will be called back. A first down nonetheless for RJ West and the Princeton offense.
That band is still going. What's also confusing is the reason there's no noise allowed, especially by OSA rules, is that the offense needs to hear the snap count. And so that band is actually hurting their own team by playing at max volume while this team is trying to snap.
And I haven't heard any of that while West has had the ball, so very one-sided advantage, or disadvantage too. So we see the handoff there. Around that left side of the field, Tabron Benny Powell getting back there. Not much of a gain on the toss for Princeton. Now under 10 seconds to play in the quarter. We'll see if the clock runs out or if they try and fit in one more play. And it looked like they will run down that clock. So we're going to head on into the fourth quarter. West up fairly convincingly right now. 24-7 our score. We'll be right back with a full 12 more minutes of action. Stay with us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see if West can close it out. We are back. West still convincingly out in front of the Princeton Vikings, 24-7, as we enter the final 12 minutes of play here at Vikings Stadium down I-75 in Princeton. it will be the Vikings to start with the ball in the fourth quarter on their own 35-yard line. See RJ West take the snap handoff up the middle. Gets about 2 out of it, nothing major.
A little bit lethargic of a play from both teams there. Neither team seeming to jump into action there. Almost like they're kind of done with this game. Well, not really done, but tired. Both teams seem worn out and moving very slow. And you hate to see that, especially in a big game like this, but it's a good sign for West, who's up big and is ready to close this one out.
It'll be 3rd and 7 officially for RJ West in the Princeton offense. We see another handoff, big hole up the middle. Carries it across midfield, almost down to the Lakota West Firebirds' 45-yard line, but a first down by quite a bit as the chains continue to move for the Vikings offensive team.
If you would have told me tonight that we were even mildly close to having a running clock at some point in this game, I would have thought you were lying. But West's dominance has been massive this whole game, and although Princeton's driving, it's looking pretty gloomy for them.
17-point lead as it stands for Lakota West, over halfway to that running clock. Princeton continues to move to try and avoid that. See the handoff to the left side, not much on the play. Once again, about a handoff for about 2 for the Vikings.
See, this is what I was talking about right when we came back from halftime. Their running back game is dominating the Lakota West defense, and Lakota West cannot stop their running backs, but the problem is their running backs run the clock. And down 17, you need every second you can. And so while Princeton might be finding their only groove in their running back core, they can't continue to use them because they'll run themselves out of this game.
So we'll see 2nd and 8 officially now under 10.5. The final 10.5 minutes of play. Princeton trying to pull back within range. RJ West in the backfield. Takes a snap, looking to flip it back, but there is a flag down. And it will be a full start backing up Princeton by 5.
And that right there's one of the biggest fouls that could have happened to Princeton. But they need to just be clean and concise to finish this game. And all game long, they've been everything but clean and concise. I mean, if we're being honest, West has not been clean or concise either. But it's just when you're trying to create a game-winning comeback, you need to be good and on point. And Princeton's not there tonight.
2nd and 13 now. The Vikings still trail by 17 in the waning moments of tonight's ball game. One of the better football nights across the country. As we get games like this, this is arguably one of the better games in the country here tonight, if not the best. Handoff goes up the middle, very evasive, able to shed quite a few tackles. Not quite to the first down marker, but right back to where the line of scrimmage was originally. Looks to be about 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9 on the way.
3rd down for the Vikings.
Yeah, we're now up here looking in the booth, and we've got an image of that punt return that went back. He had 2 full knees down on that punt return, and that just is sad. But Princeton right there, those are the only 7 points they've got, and it looks like they're not going to get any more as they're driven all the way back on that play.
That handoff went nowhere but backwards, driven by many Lakota West Firebirds, nearly back to the midfield logo. But it does look like Princeton seems to be out 4 down territory. They trail 17 in the 4th quarter. And indeed, they are going to stay out and go for it. A big 4th down on the way, 4th and 4. A big play for the West defense, even bigger play for the Princeton offense looking to stay in this one. Fakes the pitch back. RJ on the run, gonna scramble for it. He's got it past the 35. Got it by quite a bit. Princeton able to move the chains and stay alive.
Right there, that's what Princeton needed. Luckily they got out of bounds because, like I'm saying, if they don't start throwing this ball, they're gonna run themselves out of this game. And they're continuing to run, and these fans are mildly excited, but if you're running the ball, you're running the clock, and it's killing themselves right here.
The RJ West scramble seems to have been there all day. They keep going back to it, especially in big-time situations like that, all they can find. But if it's working, it's working. So you'll see RJ West again takes a snap, looks to throw across the field this time, broken up on the play by Drew Minnick, brother of Notre Dame commit Ben Minnick. It'll go incomplete, and now we'll see a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
Great play there and great coverage. He sticks with them, realizes the cut-in route, and leaves a small amount of yardage, locks in on those hips, sees him cut in, and gets his arm in there before he can make anything big.
Princeton set ready to line up for the 2nd and 10. Their biggest possession of the ball game, looking to stay alive and in it. Low snap taken. It's a handoff up the middle. Pushes to the 30. Not really any major gain on that play. We'll see another crucial 3rd down for the Vikes on the way.
This drive right here, it's taking a lot of time off the clock. And so even if Princeton scores this touchdown, I say this is a victory for Lakota West because they've taken almost half of this 4th quarter off, and Princeton just needs more time to win this game.
See the jet sweep handoff trickeration as they pitch it back, wrapped up at the 35. A big loss for this Princeton offense. That was taper on Benny Powell and Jacob Asbeck in there on the tackle. And Princeton backed up quite a few for 4th down. There is a flag on the play. We'll see who it goes against. See where the call goes. We'll get a little conference from the officials, maybe. Not quite sure what they saw on that play. And they will go back and talk to it. Not the best officiated game. We did see those 2 knees down.
Currently a problem we're looking at is whoever's running the in-stadium scoreboard has not been following the refs well, and that clock was left running. I mean, we are celebrating there because it's more time off the clock, but it is a bit of a problem here in the stadium.
So the penalty will be called an illegal shift on the Princeton Vikings. It will be declined, and so it'll bring up a 4th down from the Firebirds' 35-yard line. It'll be a 4th and 12. So the loss on that play did more damage than the illegal shift could have done had Lakota West accepted it. As we'll see yet another big 4th down play from the Vikings. This will be, I believe, their 5th 4th down conversion attempt on the night. RJ back to throw. Looks deep downfield, well overthrown. There is a penalty flag down on the field in coverage. I do believe that will be called a holding. We'll see what the call is from the referees.
I saw a defensive lineman coming around that right side who was completely bear hugged and brought down. But it's going to be a pass interference on the defense, and Princeton's going to move. I didn't quite see why that was a pass interference and can't tell what's happening. But so far through this game, this officiating has been quite awful. Luckily, though, Lakota West is playing their tails off and completely dominating Princeton.
So not a spot foul. The ball will be placed at the Firebirds' 20-yard line with an automatic 1st down. So RJ West and the Princeton offensive team moving ever closer to that end zone, but the time does continue to tick now, under 7:50 on the clock. We'll see another handoff goes absolutely nowhere. He'll be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage on that play, as we'll see a 2nd and long headed to us on the way.
Once again, this clock is moving way too much for Princeton. Down 17. You got to say, this band is playing, and it seems like they're singing goodbye to their own team.
And as we say that, some flashlights starting to come out for that West student section. It is tradition for the Red Sea to wave those flashlights and sing goodbye when they feel they have won a game. We only see a few, but maybe a sign of things to come. RJ under pressure, gets it out to DeAndre Rutherford. Once again, no gain on the play, but he is able to work his way out of bounds to stop the play clock.
All these short gains and short plays and runs is just moving the clock way too much. But right there, I got a question. It seemed like the running back went out of bounds, but the clock's going to keep moving. And so, but here we are. Clock's ticking. And Princeton's having a problem now with time, especially. Down 17 here with only 6 minutes left in this 4th quarter.
You got to wonder when and if this Princeton team scores, are they going to come out and try for this onside kick? Because, I mean, that time just keeps ticking, and it's a big game. They definitely want to come back and try to win this ball game. See RJ West back to throw. Looks deep, and that ball is out. Is it a strip sack, or are they going to say the arm was moving forward? They will call it incomplete. So no strip sack for the Firebirds defense, but it will bring up yet another Vikings 4th down attempt.
Once again, I don't know about that. He got slammed, and it seemed like the ball wasn't moving forward. And once again, Princeton gets a favorable call from the refs. West has gotten nothing in terms of calls all night, and yet they're still dominating. This reffing has been horrendous, but Lakota West is really here making a statement.
More and more of those phone flashlights coming out in the West student section. See RJ under pressure, able to get it to his man, not back to the line of scrimmage. It was a loss of 1, but it does not matter because that will bring out a turnover on downs, and it seems like that'll officially be the play that maybe ends this game for Lakota West. They're up by 17. Not much Princeton can do, and now those flashlights really starting to turn on. We even got a couple flashlights flying up here in the booth as the Lakota West offensive team now trots on to put this game to rest.
And as you're looking here, right in front of us, half of this Princeton crowd is getting up and walking out of the stands. There's a stampede to the exit as Lakota West solidifies a massive victory over Princeton, and they have made a statement to be #1 in Ohio tonight.
It'll be a Mitch Bolden keeper. He's going to run up the middle to about the 30-yard line. He will be shy of that first down marker, but it will bring up a second and fairly short for this West offensive unit, looking to keep the drive alive and that clock ticking.
A horrible, horrible call brings the only points for Princeton the whole night.
What should be a shutout, both of those knees were down. If we have not already, we will try and get a picture of that for you up on Twitter. It looked like he was taking a kneel, and they called that as still up. We will see that jet sweep handoff to Trent Lloyd, who's got the first. He's got more. Finds a hole nearly down to the Firebirds' 40-yard line.
That one was by number 4, Lloyd. Tackle made by number 17, Chaz Cole.
So the first down for the Firebirds, just over 5 minutes now on the clock. West milking every second that they can. The game is not officially over, even though they may be winning convincingly. This is a big, big game for this Firebirds team. They want to make sure they have in the bag, not take any chances. I do believe we are trying to get that picture for you up on the broadcast. See if we can get, as we get a handoff to the right side. That's Giovanni Wilson. Fights well into Princeton territory across the Vikings' 35-yard line. Got the first and a whole lot more on that play. It's now under the 5-minute mark. And we do have that picture for you. We're going to put it on the broadcast so you can all see it. Both of those knees were absolutely down. So while the scoreboard may not show it, I think we can all agree that this has been a Lakota West shutout thus far. Could go back-to-back after the shutout against Oak Hills last week.
And that's going to be a convincing victory for Lakota West. We've now shown that he was definitely down. This should be 24-0, but here we are as we watch Lakota West wrap this one up.
Giovanni Wilson rushes out to the left, can't find a hole, cuts back to the middle, and he's able to wiggle his way through a pile of defenders to get about half of those chains. It'll be about a 2nd and 5 on the way as we are going to break the 4-minute mark. Time continues to get away from these Vikings.
This right here is the game that I think will move West, not just up, but to the first place in the Ohio Power Rankings. To beat another top 10 school by an absolutely deflating amount, and not just that, the only points scored were off a botched call from the referees. This is what you call a statement from Lakota West.
We do want to point out there is a local team ahead of that number 4 spot. That would be Moeller, who West is all too familiar with. Bolden going to carry that one for a first down and many more into the red zone. Maybe looking to put up some extra points to make it look like a more convincing victory. But as we said, Moeller number 2 in the power rankings, West number 4. Gotta wonder, maybe there's a little shift going on. Is West going to jump Moeller in your opinion, Grant?
I think they should. Because Moeller tonight's playing St. X, who's not even ranked anywhere up there as their 2-2 start. And so here you see West taking out another top 10 and very convincing odds. And here we have a timeout for Princeton, but what we're seeing here is complete and utter domination from Lakota West. And what we're going to call one of those games, which I've said multiple times, a statement. But here we are. We're going to take a break real quick. We'll be right back after this. Thank you for watching.
And we are back. West leading this one 24-7, but we do want to give you a quick score update. We were just talking about them, Moeller and St. X. St. X is on upset alert here. They're leading Moeller by 4 points, 7:30 on the clock.
17-13, St. X with the lead there. 7:30 left in that fourth quarter. But here's a cut by Trent Lloyd, and it's going to go in for a touchdown to make it 31-7, Lakota West. Well, 30, barring the extra point, but it's Tyler Bond. He's going to knock that in.
Yeah, Trent Lloyd able to find that hole there on the rush, breaks through the end zone. Absolutely no competition. Could have walked that one in as West keeps running up this score, hoping to move to that number 1 spot with Moeller on upset alert. Even if they pull away with it, you got to think West jumps them after a dominant victory over the number 7 team in the state.
You got to think so. And here we are with the kick.
Moeller, not just a top team in Ohio, but they are in the top 30 nationally. Got to wonder where that ranking goes as the PAT is up and good. So 31-7 our score, 3:07 on the clock. The West student section is going crazy as this one is officially in the bag. We stand 31-7 right now. We'll take a quick break. Princeton looking to make it a little less convincing when we come back. We are back. Lakota West getting set to kick this off to Princeton. We do want to announce that the winner of that $15 gift card giveaway will be announced on our Twitter. We are unable to get into our YouTube live chat right now because of the unfortunate restrictions placed by YouTube. We will be announcing it on Twitter, so if you do not follow us, go follow us at LWHSBC on Twitter. We will be announcing our winner. Please DM us if you are correct with proof that it was your chat.
We now have official confirmation, and we want to love you guys because tonight you have over doubled our subscriber count. Before this stream, we were at 140, and we are now at 313. We are well on our way to 1,000, and we hope you guys get us there the rest of the way so that everyone can watch our streams. We are sad that people got barred out tonight, and we hope going forward we'll reach 1K so that nobody else will be locked out ever again.
We do want to stress to you, please, please, please hit that red subscribe button. We really need to get over 1,000. This is not us begging for attention. We really need to get these streams out. There are lots of parents who rely on our streams to watch their kids play as that pass batted down incomplete. But it is an absolute blessing to be over 300 subscribers on this channel as this dream coming to life over the last year. We do want to thank all of you for your support on YouTube, on Twitter, all of the support from the school, the parents, the players, the coaches, absolutely everybody. And it has been an incredible season, and we are just getting started. Lots more on the way, so stay with us. we hope to take you along this crazy ride, hopefully into Canton. These Firebirds look like that's where they're headed now, that rush. Stuff behind, oh no, he's evading. Oh my goodness, he keeps getting away from those tacklers all the way up to the 35.
Jay West, number 9.
Right there.
Viking
Right there.
touchdown.
You saw us locked in on those running backs thinking they don't want to injure their big-time quarterback, but he's going to take it and make a big play. You got to love it seeing the quarterback still putting his body out on the line, even though this game's pretty much wrapped up. But great play there from Princeton. Can't deny it when you see it, but it's still been domination through and through for Lakota West.
And one of those big pointers that Princeton fans were bragging about is that 71-0 victory over Lakota East. Is that ball lost on the ground? It will be recovered by Princeton. Not quite sure if it was a fumble or not, but they will maintain possession either way. But they were boasting that 71-0 victory over double, I believe, of what Lakota West was able to put on Lakota East as far as victory margin. But, you know, they come in today and they were just not able to put up the same performance against the Firebirds.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it double. There was about, West had around about, you know, a 52-point margin, and Princeton only had about a 70, but still a bit of a margin there. And another pass dropped, and it's going to be third down.
Pass from R.J. West, number 9. Fell incomplete. Intended for number 21, Tyson B. Third down for the Vikings.
Coming up on third down here. Game about to roll under the 2-minute mark after this play. We thank you all for joining us, and this clock's going to keep ticking down. And expect next time you see us for that 4 next to that West logo to hopefully be at number 1.
Yeah, we do want to appreciate our graphics man and stats man here in the booth, Grant Egeman, working very hard constantly all week to get us new scoreboards, new graphics. One of the unsung heroes of the operation is that pass. Looked like it was blown up, but he's going to be able to push to the 40. We will get a 4th down, but it'll be more 4th and short.
Pass from number 9.
We're now under-
The ball was fumbled on the play, but Princeton did come up with it. They are figuring out the spot. It seems like they might have said he was down before the fumble, but that ball definitely flew out. But it doesn't really matter because either way, this ball's being turned over with a Princeton kick. And my favorite thing right now is looking at these stands, empty.
And Princeton kind of taking their loss here. That punt team is out. They're not going to go for it. They're going to take their loss, cut their losses here with under a minute and a half to play in the ball game. 31-7 looks as of now like it will be our final, barring any craziness. Fair catch called for by Brennan Remy at the 26-yard line. West will have the ball, 1:13 on the clock. And we do want to point out another score update. Muller punching one in the end zone, 19-17 now our score. They did take a lead in that ball game. They did kick the PAT now, so 20-17. They lead St. X by 3. But St. X still in that game, put Muller on upset alert still. We will still try and bring you updates of that game as we get them up here in the booth at Princeton.
Hopefully. St. X, although they are a rival of Lakota West, we're looking and we're rooting for them tonight. Because right now, we're in victory formation, and that's the knee from Mitch Bolden. And barring a timeout, one more knee will send everyone home with a victory.
So from all of us up here in the booth, Nick Johnson and Grant Hegeman calling the game, our producer Dimitri Fizik, and our cameraman Lucas Moody, thanks for joining us on an incredible night. Sorry about the technical difficulties on the stream. As we said, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. YouTube restricting our viewers, unfortunately. The full game will be posted on YouTube later for everybody to watch, so spread the word. If you know anybody who wants to go back and watch the game, it will be available. But we thank you all for a great night here from Princeton. Great hospitality from the Princeton Vikings as the final knee of the ball game is taken and time will expire. 31-7 our final. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Enjoy the Firebirds W. We'll let that clock tick down, but as always, go Firebirds.